You are in court because your attorney is late.
Okay, so we only take a record in this court when the judge tells you to? Is this a tactic on the court's part to attempt to wear out the defendant so they can't access their right to trial?
Oh, stop interrupting me.
Well, we're not on the record.
Stop interrupting me.
Right? I mean, we're not in
Stop
court. There's no record.
interrupting me.
I mean, that's the reason I don't come to your court at 9, because I know in another court,
Sir,
things
here's your
can
answer.
Today's case is a little different. Usually, it's a defendant getting called out, but this time it's the lawyer who's causing all the trouble. Judge Boyd doesn't hold back, and she gives him a firm warning for his behavior. And honestly, it's hard to disagree with her. Lawyers are expected to maintain professionalism in the courtroom, not get upset and act out when things don't go their way. This kind of behavior isn't just inappropriate. It undermines the entire process. Let me know in the comments what you think about how this one played out. Was Judge Boyd right to step in like she did? Let's jump in and watch how she handled the situation.
All right, I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked everybody else. Has an acknowledgement of discovery been done? Because I don't have it in the court file.
I have signed a few of them at this point.
All right, so has there been any new discovery?
Not to my knowledge.
All right, so you can make sure that the acknowledgement of discovery, the state actually has it and the court has it, because it's not in the court file. And Odyssey is doing things on its own. So I'm gonna have y'all come back tomorrow. You're not number one on the docket.
Okay.
There are a couple of cases that are ahead of you, so those cases may end up going before yours. We'll just see where we are, okay?
That's correct.
Respectfully, Your Honor, Mr. Rios always appears, always waits all day. This is impacting his employment. We would ask that if we're not likely to be called tomorrow, that we be released. Additionally, I have experts for this trial that we have attempted to bring in, but we never know, and because the case is older now, when we should bring those experts in. So I'm going to have to approach the court and request additional funds for those experts if we're reset. So I would ask the court either to give us some preference tomorrow for trial, or if we can't do that, to release Mr. Rios so that he can go to work.
All right, be here exactly at 9:30, okay?
Okay, yes.
All right, counsel, be here exactly at 9:30.
You understand? Now, Your Honor, respectfully, every time we come to court, we lose an entire day of work ourselves too. This is not typical of most of the courts in this county.
Oh, yeah, it is very typical.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
You can say that, Judge, but I practice in
And
the
say
courts.
that, and it very is typical, because every attorney that's here has a case that's set for jury trial. And this is what ends up happening. What ends up
Happening is I will allow people to go to civil cases to be out of county, and then their client is sitting here waiting for them. And for some reason, that's the court's fault. That's not the court's fault when attorneys are not showing up at 9 or whatever, and then they stroll in at 9:30 or 9:45. So what I'm telling you all, 9:30, see y'all at 9:30. Thank you. Coordinator will give you a reset form.
Understood. Your
All
Honor,
right,
I'm
thank
trying to
you.
make a record. I don't see the court reporter typing.
What?
Okay, so we only take a record in this court when the judge tells you to? The case was called.
No, the case wasn't called. When I call the case, I call it by the style of the case.
Okay.
All right. All right. So I'll see y'all at 9:30.
Judge, I have to ask you, is this a tactic on the court's part to attempt to wear out the defendant so they can't access their right to trial?
What is this attorney even doing right now? The judge clearly told him to return at 9:30 tomorrow. Yet, he turns around and accuses the court of trying to wear down his client. Honestly, the only thing exhausting the defendant at this point seems to be his own lawyer, that is going off on tangents, making the situation more complicated than it needs to be. You've got to wonder if the defendant is sitting there thinking he might have been better off representing himself. From where I'm sitting, the attorney's attitude seems less about the case and more about some personal issue he might have with Judge Boyd. And let's be real, Judge Boyd usually keeps things calm and respectful in her courtroom, but it looks like her patience might be running out here. Let me know in the comments what you think about this lawyer's behavior. Now, let's jump in and see how Judge Boyd handles it.
Oh, I find that very inappropriate to say when there is no proof and people are just throwing things out. Now, what I can tell you, and I'm sure your client is aware, Sometimes when we end up coming to court, we come to court because there are discovery issues. Sometimes when you're in court, you are in court because your attorney is late. And when I say late, I mean that when a case is scheduled in this court and it's scheduled for 9 a.m. and attorneys go to different courts because they want to go to different courts first, it is not the court's fault that you're sitting here for 12 o'clock or 1:30 or coming back over break. Number one, I have a lunch break. And there was a point in time where I would not take a lunch break. And the reason why I wouldn't take a lunch break is because I said, you know what?
Make a record?
I've been a defense attorney. And when I was a defense attorney, what I would always do, I'm like, I have to be in like 5 courts. It would be nice if they could stagger their docket. And so sometimes I would be here, we wouldn't have a lunch break, and I would be here till 3 o'clock. And then you know what I discovered? When I would say that I want to be here till 3 o'clock, I'm working through lunch, other attorneys, you know what they would end up doing? Then they wouldn't show up in the morning. They would just show up at 1:30 or whatever, because they're like, oh, the judge is going to stay there. So I stopped doing that because I need a lunch break. And that's what happens.
So then my other question, I guess, is if you're not doing this to cause the hardship, it obviously causes all the attorneys and the defendants. Are you doing this for the YouTube? Because we don't have a record, right? Except for the YouTube.
Yes, here's the thing. You're to be back tomorrow at 9:30. You
Yes.
understand?
Yes.
All right, thank you so much. And once you sign the reset form, you'll be here tomorrow. If somebody goes before you, somebody goes before you. Your counsel is well aware, or should be well aware, if he's been practicing in Bexar County,
For almost
that
20
there
years.
are not.
This attorney has been practicing in this county for nearly 20 years, which makes his behavior here even more surprising. The way he's presenting himself just doesn't align with what you'd expect from someone with that much experience. Honestly, his approach feels unprofessional and careless. And then there's the bold accusation. He actually suggests that Judge Boyd is using her courtroom live stream to make money. That is a serious claim with no real basis. From what I can tell, the stream likely exists for transparency or record keeping, not for personal gain. Let's not forget Judge Boyd is running a courtroom on behalf of the United States, not hosting a personal broadcast. So for this attorney to treat it like some online side hustle is not only misguided, it's disrespectful. At this point, you really have to wonder what his goal is. Is he trying to provoke the judge on purpose? Or is this just a sign of poor judgment? Either way, the defendant must be sitting there questioning how things got to this point. Let me know in the comments what you think about how this attorney is handling himself.